This demonstration we're going to have a look at creating and managing virtual machine checkpoints. Now, a checkpoint in Virtual Machine Manager is the equivalent of a snapshot that we get in Hyper-V Manager. So it allows me to revert back to a virtual machine at a point in time before I've made any changes, or to revert to a virtual machine that perhaps I've made some changes that I don't want to keep. So the first thing we're going to do here is, just before we take a checkpoint, is just actually create a folder on our desktop. And we'll just call this one Checkpoint 1. So we've got that in place. Next thing we'll do here is just quickly create a text document. And the text document that we'll create within here, we'll just call this Before Checkpoint 1. Stick some text in there. Save that off. Next thing we're going to do with the virtual machine is just actually take this checkpoint. So we'll come back to System Center Virtual Machine Manager, right click, create a new checkpoint, put a description in here if we so wish. So all we'll do here is we'll just say folder created on desktop. I'm happy with the name of the checkpoint, so we'll click create. We can see the job kicking off here. So now what it's going to do, it's actually going to take the snapshot / checkpoint of the virtual machine, and it will then store that with the virtual machine. Takes a little while. So there you go, checkpoints now being created. So the next thing we can do here is we can then manage our checkpoints for our virtual machine, and we can see the checkpoint in place. Now a couple of things we could do here. We could, as we can see, create another new checkpoint, remove the checkpoint, restore the checkpoint, so restore back to this point in time, or we could come down to the properties of the checkpoint as well and have a quick little look to see some information. Have a look at the hardware configuration, and we can see the hardware in place as well. So that's all done there. So all we're going to do now, just to prove that these things do work, we'll just close this down. Just come back to the virtual machine viewer. I'm just going to delete the folder. Say yes to that. So the folder has now gone. So what I want to do now is I want to actually revert back to when I had the folder. So back in the Virtual Machine Manager, right click on the virtual machine, back down to manage my checkpoints, click on the checkpoint, and all we'll do here is we'll revert back to this by clicking on the restore button. Say yes to this, so it's just telling me that the checkpoint will be restored. Click OK, and we'll just watch it in the job status. Once this is all finished, we should find that when we come back to the virtual machine console, we should find that we have the folder back sitting on the desktop. Okay, it's now restored. So we'll just come back to the virtual machine, reconnect with the console, and what we should find the folder sitting on the desktop. And here we go, checkpoint 1 now sitting back on the desktop. So that proves that these things do work. Took a snapshot, deleted the folder, reverted back the snapshot or the checkpoint, and what we found is we found the folder sitting back on the desktop. That's the end of the demonstration. Thanks very much.